What if the only thing keeping you stuck isn't fear? It's all the questions you keep asking yourself. Every time you think about making a change, or maybe leaving that job, or moving to a new city, your brain immediately jumps straight to, what if it goes wrong? Or what if I fail? But honey, you're only looking at one side of the coin. You're listening to Sis We Outta Here, the podcast for the woman who looks good on paper but feels like she's disappearing in real life. I'm your host, Miriam Davenport, the Exit Queen. I left the job, the relationship, and the version of myself that kept shrinking just to survive. Now I help women just like you break free, rebuild, and glow from the inside and the out. Whether you're in the middle of a major exit or just waking up to the truth that you deserve more, this space is for you. Here we have real conversations. Sometimes it's just me. Sometimes it's powerful women sharing their exit stories. But every time, we keep it real, honest, and purpose-driven. So if you're ready for real freedom, let's get you free. Let's start your exit. Do you think fear is keeping you stuck? Is it your kids, your partner, the bills? Are you in school? What's keeping you in a life that's shrinking you? I spent years in the health profession asking these same scary questions until I realized they were keeping me in a life that was draining my soul. So I was where you are, and I exited out from all of it. And I have a message for you, so don't go anywhere. Thinking can feel safe to you in the moment, but it keeps you stuck. You've been living in a kind of rehearsal where your thinking feels productive, but it's actually delay. All those questions you constantly ask yourself are running through your brain, and it makes you feel like you're being responsible or loyal, but what it's really doing is causing inaction on your part. Because when was the last time you just thought yourself into a place or a situation without doing anything about it? And yeah, I know all about quantum leaping and all that jazz. And I know we have AI and all this new technology, but we're not quite there yet. We still have to take a physical action on our thoughts in order for us to make something happen. The big problem here is this. Your brain is trained to scan for danger, not dreams and desires, not that fluffy stuff. Think of it like this. Your brain has a very demanding position in your body, and that is to keep you safe. It's your bodyguard, and it takes its job very serious. If you veer away from your brain's job description, it's going to send you signals right away. It's going to be like, danger, Will Robinson, danger. Okay, all my Gen X folks will get that one. But your brain doesn't care about granting your lifelong dreams. It asks, what are the worst case scenarios or questions by default? So that doesn't mean the fear is true. That's just your brain doing its job. A bodyguard that's hired to protect you doesn't care if you go out and commit a crime. Its job is to keep you safe, period. So at the core of this, it means that all those what ifs, they're not intuition, they're conditioning. Now, what are the most common what ifs we use to stop ourselves from taking action? Because women get trapped in what if much more than men. And the reason is because we as women carry all this invisible weight. We want to know how it's going to affect the kids, the family, our identity. To us, money isn't just money, it's security. So the what ifs just stack up in our minds and they multiply. That's why making a decision or a simple step forward, it seems riskier to us than it actually is. We just tend to sit in what if longer than men. Not because we're weaker, but because we're trained to carry consequences. And the problem is, no one teaches us when it's safe to stop carrying them. So when we pause, it's not hesitation, it's responsibility. Now, here's where it turns into a problem. At some point, responsibility turns into self-delay, and you start protecting everyone else, including a version of yourself that's already unhappy. And no one tells you when it's okay to stop preparing and start moving. That's when what if stops being wisdom or responsible and it starts being a cage. Now, let me go back a step. Here's the what if that I've heard the most. What if I run out of money? Okay, let's say you do run out of money. Do you have a degree that you can use? Because I've always told my kids, get the degree, and then if you want to be homeless, go right ahead. But always know that you can choose to pick yourself back up again and use that piece of paper somewhere. What if you run out of money? Well, do something you know. Can you teach something to someone and have them pay you for it? I mean, we often overlook our own value to others. Here's another what if. What if it doesn't work out? Okay, well, guess what? Then go back. Do you want to move out of the country? You can always go back. As long as you have your mental faculties, you can accomplish anything you put your mind to if you keep at it long enough to see a result. It may not be the result you expected, but you're certainly going to learn a lot in the process, so it helps you in some capacity. I love what Myron Golden says about work. He said, all work works. If it's not working for you, it's working on you. So just because you don't see it working and may not see it in real time how it's worked, you will eventually. And here's a big what if. What if I look stupid starting over? So my question to you is, who will you look stupid to? The woman in the mirror? The people around you who are clearly not supporting your dreams anyway, that you would care what they say, so who cares? When I decided to start over from scratch in Spain, where I didn't know the language or anyone there, the last thing I cared about was looking stupid. I mean, if that was a big concern of mine, I wouldn't even have attempted to speak to people when I got there. But I gotta learn the language, so I have to communicate with people. And do I look stupid sometimes trying to speak in broken Spanglish? Maybe, but I don't care. I just wouldn't have ventured overseas like that if I cared about looking stupid. I was so excited to start fresh and be the person that I knew I was on the inside. All those people that I used to work with who told me, oh, you'll be back. They're still there, working all those hours, day in, day out, complaining about how much work they have to do when they really want to be on vacation or be fulfilling their dreams, and they're still there. All those quiet what ifs can run your life if you let them. What if nothing changes because you never test the other side? You don't need to have all the math worked out before you make a move. A lot of people think, oh, I gotta figure this out first and work out these numbers. You just need to know whether or not the math is actually mathing for you. And if it's not, the craziest part about this is that you only need to take one step to see how the doors will open for you. I mean, you can have an impromptu conversation with someone that has a connection to a company you've always dreamt about working at and find out it's a remote job. So you can travel anywhere you want to. Or you'll come across a sign in a store that speaks to you about a thing and nudges you to take action. These are times when being quiet is important, so you can hear God's direction. And just know that you're not going to receive complete clarity before you take the action, because clarity comes after action, not before. When I started the process of moving to Spain, I didn't know how I was going to do it. But I started doing a little research. And by research, I mean, all I did was look up what are the different areas that attracted me. And then later, it looked like me checking websites and looking online and seeing what the prices are for housing in those areas. If I had sat there only dreaming about Spain and never taking action, well, that's where that dream would have laid to rest. The better question most people never ask that can move you forward: what if it works out even better than you ever imagined? I mean, let's take a pause on that one. Something working out better than you could ever dream of? Does that happen? Yes, it absolutely does, and I am a witness to it. It's been about a year and a half since I left the chaos that I was living in the US, and since then, I have been to Spain, Portugal, Peru, and now I'm here in Thailand. I just wanted to move to Spain, that's it, when I first started thinking about all this. And now that's my home base, now I'm traveling the world. Who would have thought that? So instead of your brain exploring new opportunities for you, your brain is telling you to stay right where you are. And it keeps feeding you danger scenarios to keep you safe. But what if staying is the bigger risk? What if your future you is begging you to move now? And I don't mean necessarily out of the country, I mean just to make a move. Do you know that you can change the way your brain is wired? We can actually rewire our mental code, the code that's holding us back. And that way we stop just dreaming about making moves and actually start taking steps out of staying stuck in a what-if loop. We can reprogram ourselves to take bold steps, whether it's moving to another country, getting a new job, or any other dream we've been delaying. We can code action into our future, not just hesitation. Okay, I know what you're saying. How do we do this? Basically, it's like this. When you notice those what-if worries, take a pause, stop and ask yourself if they're really true. Are they something that you can put your hands on to say, yes, if I do this, this is definitely going to happen? If you can't do that, then that's just your bodyguard, your brain, and you need to tell it to stand down. So then you do that by picking one small thing you can do that moves you toward your dream. Like I said, all I first did was to look online at geographical locations in Spain and find out about the different areas. It's funny because soon after I did that and I found out about a few places that I liked, I happened to have a conversation with someone who was a very seasoned traveler, and he was able to give me further details about each of the areas that I was interested in because he had been there before. I've never even met this man before, but we somehow crossed paths. You see how that works? The doors open, and he gave me further information for me to be able to dive deeper into what I really wanted. Every time you act, it's like you're changing the code in your brain. You're swapping out fear for action. And step by step, you're getting closer to what you want. Every life change starts the same way, not with confidence, but with a decision to stop letting what if run the show. Your brain is a tool. Feed it positive things. If you give it scary questions, it's going to give you scary answers right back. Now, watch what happens when you give it luxe questions. It's going to show you a luxe life. And that's why you're listening to this podcast episode right now. I have a link I'm going to put in the description box for something that can help you get out from all of this. It's called One Decision Away from Stuck. I know it's going to help you like it helped me. So don't ask, what if I fail? And start asking, what if I fly? That's it for today's episode of Sis, We Outta Here. I'm your exit queen, helping you break free, rebuild, and glow from the inside and the out. If something hit home, don't keep it to yourself. Share this with a woman who needs to hear it. Sis, we outta here.